SpaceX Starlink has yet again changed up their business model to now include a means of getting their hardware with no upfront fee. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for tea time. Today we have a little bit of misty morning and focus combination. So good, so good. I hope you're joining me with your cup of tea, maybe a cup of coffee, hanging out, talking tech, talking photo, talking video. Today is a technology day. We're going to be talking about Elon Musk, SpaceX Starlink, and how they changed their model up once again. They keep on adding means of getting more and more customers on board. I think Elon Musk and all of the folks over there at SpaceX Starlink knows that the biggest stumbling block, let's say, for getting their service is their hardware. Their hardware is very expensive. There is a big upfront cost to getting SpaceX Starlink. Their hardware is about $599. That is a lot in comparison to a lot of other ISPs out there that will give you their equipment for free. Well, SpaceX Starlink is now doing something similar. Well, it's not for free, but what they're doing is they're taking that fee and then spreading it across 12 months. So it's basically an installment program, which ends up being pretty good for a lot of people because they don't have that upfront cost. Anyways, today we're going to get into that. I was reading some articles over on Teslarati as well as PC Magazine and a couple other rags. PC Magazine did a really good at just consolidating it all, so I want to read to you some of that and then give you my commentary on it and then my thoughts about it. More importantly, I want to hear from you. What do you think? Is this something that will help you, let's say, to purchase or not purchase SpaceX Starlink? I want to hear from you. Down below in the comments, what do you think about this new program that they are now offering? Anyways, before we get into this article, I just want to say that if you enjoy this content, even in the least, throw it a thumbs up. That'll be very helpful. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not. If you are, thank you so very much. Click this little notification button right here. So when I go live or when a new video comes out, you'll be notified of it immediately. Also, if you want to say thank you for all of my hard work, there's a little thank you button. You can click on that, give $1 or $2 if you like. If not, that's perfectly fine. Consider becoming a member of the channel. That would be even better. And if you haven't downloaded any of my ebooks, check them out. They are free just for you being here. Go to JCristina.com/books. And when you're done watching this video, not now, don't click it now. When you're done watching this video, I've put together over 280 SpaceX Starlink specific videos for you. I'll put a link right here, so check those out. Anyways, let's jump right into this article. This is once again from PC Magazine. It says subscribing to Starlink requires a $599 upfront hardware cost, but SpaceX is looking to soften the blow by offering the option to pay for the gear in monthly installments. Starlink.com now offers financing option alongside the standard $599 price. Quote, financing is now available for customers who prefer to pay for the cost of the Starlink kit over time, 12 months. Pay $50 a month for 12 months plus a one-time activation fee. Total hardware cost is still $600. Activation fee. I'll get into that in just a second. Now, as you can see here, let me pull up this picture. You can see we have a standard, which is at $599, what you'll be paying, or we have a standard, but it says finance, $50 per month. The article continues. The terms add that the first monthly installment will be charged on the date that the dish is activated or 30 days after the equipment ships. Hence, it looks like customers only need to pay for the shipping cost and tax up front. Maybe what happened to the activation fee? All right, we'll get back into that. Users will pay $50 per month for the hardware plus the monthly internet fee, which is likely to be $120. Quote, if an installment payment is unpaid, including because your approved payment method is rejected or denied, then Starlink may charge you for the total outstanding amount of the remaining of the unpaid installment payment balance. SpaceX has been trying various ways to lure in new customers. This includes offering select U.S. customers a $1 for 30 days trial, along with the option of buying a refurbished Starlink dishes for $399. Last week, the company said that it had reached 3 million customers. Actually, it's over 3 million. Although it remains unclear how many of those are paid subscribers. Well, You can turn off your Starlink after registering it. That's number one. But you can also put SpaceX Starlink on pause for any period of time and then turn it back on. But at any rate, SpaceX Starlink has still seen over 3 million customers register for their internet service. That is a lot. Just to put that into perspective, that is double the amount of customers that they have as of now within just a short period of time, just a few years that they've been offering it retail, that, for example, Dish Network has in totality. Dish Network has under, I think it's 1.5 million customers over the course of like 30 years or something, right? They've done it in like 3, doubled the amount of customers. So it is a massive, massive amount in a very, very brief period of time. Anyways, the article finalizes with, in addition to SpaceX, Home Depot has been offering customers the chance to buy Starlink through their monthly installment plan. I think any of the big box stores that offer SpaceX Starlink will give you the ability to either get, for example, like 5% off if you use their credit card, or an installment plan where you're paying over the course of months to pay it off, so to speak. So I think this is just something that is direct through SpaceX, even though other big boxes have been doing it already. I think that this is great. It just shows that they are, like they were talking about here in this article, trying to lure in as many customers as possible. That is the exact opposite that they were doing like a year, 2 years ago, when it was really difficult to get SpaceX Starlink. You had to be put on this waiting list forever, literally forever. It took me, guys, 9 months for me to get SpaceX Starlink 35 months ago when I first got it, okay? 9 months. Now you can get it in big box stores. You could get it immediately through their website. And now they're offering different ways to kind of, let's say, mitigate or lessen that sticker shock when you get involved with them. Because that upfront cost is what you guys have been telling me is a big factor in you not getting SpaceX Starlink. Because remember, the hardware is $599, but then you're paying your service fee if you're in a home, right? You're talking about $120 per month. So it is a big outlay the very first month to get started. Not an easy amount of outlay of cash to float right up front, right? This is going to mitigate that. As you can see here, one option is $599. That is that upfront cost where you buy out the hardware. But next to it, you can see that it says standard finance. So you're going to get a standard kit. If you don't know what that is, that financing is going to give you the same kit that you would be buying, and that is a Generation 3. So you're going to get a Generation 4 dish. I know it's kind of confusing. A Generation 4 dish and a Generation 3 router. That is the latest and greatest kit, let's call it. And it's going to set you back $50 per month, but you're not going to be paying that upfront fee. Now, if you take a look at this, this also shows the final cost. And you can see the service fee shows up as $120. Then there is a tax on the service fee, which is $5.13. You have your monthly fee of your $50, and then you have your hardware fee, which is $0 because you're paying it in installments over the course of 12 months. Then you have your shipping, which is $20, and your tax, which is $2.05. So in totality, you're looking on paying $22.05. This is out of California. $22.05. That is the outlay for getting a kit sent to you. In other states, it's going to be a little bit different because tax varies, as we know, throughout the country. So let's call it $20, $22. That is it. That is what you'll be paying. But going forward, every month, you're going to be paying the $120 for your service fee with the tax on top, as well as the $50 finance. So $50 every single month for 12 months. It is then paid off and you own it. All right. It is not one of those plans that's like a lease to never own or a rent to never own. It is more of an installment plan or a lease to own, or however you want to look at it. You eventually own the hardware and you're not going to be paying that rental fee in perpetuity like some of the companies do. They will send you out hardware. It might cost you nothing, but then they'll tack on $10, $20 every month for you to have that hardware. So to me, I think that this is really great because it adds options. Once again, you have the option now of financing. through or directly through SpaceX Starlink instead of a big box store. You also have the ability to get Starlink in certain areas for $1 for a 30-day trial to test it out, which will also make it so that there's no outlay for you to test the hardware, to test the service to see if you like it. And then finally, you also now have the ability, or certain people in certain regions, the ability to pick up the hardware refurbished, meaning that you'd be paying $399 instead of $599. So a $200 discount. And the beauty on getting the refurbished hardware, and I've told you guys many times in the past on the JC live show, as well as in other videos, the beauty of it is you still get the same warranty as if you got a new kit. So that's awesome, because if there's a problem, they're still going to stand behind it, just like if you bought brand new, but you're saving $200. So that's my favorite way of going. Instead of doing the financing, instead of doing the $1 for 30 days, $1 for 30 days is okay if you just want to check it out, but it gets to be a pain sending it back and forth because you have to pay the shipping costs and everything. If you are interested in SpaceX Starlink, $399, you're in. All right, that's the way I would go. That's my recommendation. Now, come full circle to talk about that whole activation fee. It's really strange because the activation fee is not talked about anywhere. So we really don't even know what the activation fee is. It doesn't show on this bill anywhere. It doesn't say that, oh, once it is activated, this is what the activation fee will be, or anything, right? It just doesn't show up. We just don't know. So I did some research to try to find out what is the customary activation fee from SpaceX Starlink. And what I did find was a page that showed activation fees, but they were based on activating a SpaceX Starlink mobile priority type of system. And it says Starlink activation fee, $50, reactivation fee, $50, and downgrade fee, $50. So if that is truth going forward with all areas of SpaceX Starlink, the customary amount would most likely be $50 to basically do anything, right? So let's just call it $50 what you'll pay once this thing is activated. So your first payment is what I would say, instead of being $170, which would be the $120 for the service, the $50 for the installment, most likely another $50. Let's just call it, if that's what it is. Am I certain? No, I'm not certain. So $120, $50, and then another $50. You're looking at $220 in totality. That's what you're going to pay on your first month. After that, going forward, you're going to be paying $170 every single month for 12 months. And then it'll be $120, and that is it. So I think that this is interesting. I'm glad to see it because a lot of people like you, probably watching right now, just felt that $599, laying that out up front is a lot of money to start with an ISP, an internet service provider. And by having these options, I really do think that SpaceX Starlink is trying to bring in as many new customers, as many new clients as possible. Once again, whereas in the past, they were kind of like pushing them back. At this point, they have plenty of service. We have now seen over 6,000 activated satellites in LEO. Over 6,000, getting close to like 6,100. It is a lot. There is a lot. So there's a lot of service. And out of those 6,000 satellites, if you guys don't know it, 50% of them are the new satellites that have laser communications on board. That is massive. That means that 50% of them, let's call it 3,000 satellites, actually form a mesh network around the planet, meaning that any data that's on a satellite, let's say over the US, is the same data that could be in milliseconds over China, let's say, for example. Once again, any satellite around the entire planet, any of the 3,000 satellites to be exact, could have that information on it, your data, literally within milliseconds, at the speed of light through lasers. So this is really going to speed up connectivity a lot. We're going to see speeds go up, both upload and download, and we're going to see latency come down in the not so distant future. Watch for that. Anyways, guys, I hope you found this interesting, maybe helpful, maybe just entertaining. If you have, throw it a thumbs up. That'd be awesome. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools I've invented for you and me over the many years, and my merch and my tees and my mugs and my shirts and all the rest of this stuff. Pick something up. Help support me and my family. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay connected, and we'll see you in the next one. Love you all.